jaded, baby, wipe your eyes. Don't let him see that he got the best of you. Girl, I'll take the rest of you. Look, time to boss up. Fix your credit, girl, get at it, get your bag up. Hit that gym and get back fine, girl, you got it, you got it. Okay, so it is the next day, and it is almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and I am ready to put my my ribs into the crock pot. I have my crock pot set already to high. I just put a little bit of water. Don't need much. Of course, these marinated overnight and they just look so amazing. Okay, so I am going to go on ahead and put these into the crock pot. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I have the ribs in the crock pot. Before I get into what I put on it, I want to say you don't have to cut them up. That was just a choice that I made just because I wanted to. You could have left it at you can leave it as a slab if it's a slab, and just make it like sit around your crock pot and cover it up to cook. But I just wanted to to cut it up. But once they get done, anyways, by the time they're done, they're definitely going to become falling off the bone. So, yeah, just to throw that out there. So I seasoned my stuff with, first of all, let me show something. I'm not a barbecue person no more like that. So I got, I've been having this for, can you see it? A couple of months. This is really bomb. I used it about a month ago on some oven baked chicken, and it still gives like a certain flavor of a grilled barbecue taste, but it's not barbecue. It's just the rub, obviously. That was the main thing that I used. That was what I used for my rub. And then for my own extra rub, I used some cayenne pepper, some complete seasoning, some crushed red pepper, some chicken bouillon flavor, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some as my herbs, I use some basil leaves, some parsley. I also use some ground cumin and some black pepper. Okay, this is gonna be so bomb. I also put over, let it marinate in the hickory smoke. What is it called? Oh my goodness. Liquid smoke is what it's called. Hickory smoke liquid smoke. I've used this so many times on different recipes, but my thing is I probably then took the video down and made it private. So let me just show what I'm talking about. This here, straight game changer when it comes to when you want that grilled taste and you can only do it indoors. I'm telling you, let it sit overnight. The best thing you could do for some meat. Anyways, so I'm going to let this cook on high for 2 hours. And then I'm going to turn it down to low and let it cook for an additional 3 to 4, give or take. I don't know. But stay tuned for the next part of the video. Okay, so we are 3 hours in, and this is what they looking like over here. Let me get a fork real quick. We're going to check that tenderness because I am about to turn it down. Yep. Ain't nowhere there where we want, but it's getting there. That's what I'm about to do. Is turn this down to low. And let them finish cooking for the next, I'm going to give it another 2 to 3 hours, give or take. No, it ain't gonna be less than 2 hours for a fact, but about 2 to 3 hours. We're gonna just leave it at that and see where we at then. And so stay tuned for the next part of the video. Okay, so it's been another couple of hours, and some of these are breaking up just like I want them to. I am, and yes, I still have it turned down to low. At least it's breaking up perfect. So I am about to let this continue on doing this for about 5-10 minutes while I whip up this barbecue sauce. And then I'm going to pour the juice out and add the barbecue sauce. So stay tuned. Okay, so I did decide to go ahead and want to put some barbecue sauce over my ribs, just for the simple fact they are not spicy enough for me, and I wanted like a sweet taste as well now that it's a little later on in the day and I'm just ready to eat. Okay, so what I did was I just took a bottle of some original barbecue sauce and just added my own to it. I added some light brown sugar, I added some cayenne pepper and some sriracha sauce and a little bit of honey, okay, just to give it that sweet taste. And so stay tuned for the next part of the video. Okay, so as you can see, I poured that water out and I just went on ahead and added my barbecue sauce to it. Just poured it on top. I didn't try to spread it. I just got it over the parts because I'm just going to cover it up for a little bit longer. Let that barbecue marinate on there. And then those going to be done. So stay tuned. We're going to get this cabbage going. Alright, so let's get this next part of the meal going, which I am going to be doing stovetop macaroni with my homemade cheese sauce using whole wheat elbow macaroni. I'm just using a half a box. Now, have you ever had macaroni and cheese with some wheat pasta? I haven't, but I have used wheat pasta before when it comes to like spaghetti and stuff. Now, this is just my preference, and you know, when it comes to pasta, it tastes the same. There's no different in taste. The only difference is with whole wheat pasta is that it has more fiber and the least amount of calories. Now, just because, you know, this is my 1 out of 2 heavy meals for the month, I still do try my hardest to use like the more foods with the least amount of carbs if there's carbs and the least amount of calories if I'm able to. So yeah, so anyways, stay tuned. We got that cabbage in there going and we about to get this meal finished and done. Okay, so I'm back, and while I'll get my cheese sauce going and everything, I just got to say, I'm just starting off with the butter base part of it. I completely did not do an introduction on this video. This is the first time that I'm doing a cooking video with no intro. This is also the first time I'm doing a cooking video to where I wasn't already dressed and, you know, and all that. So, I literally, before I started my cabbage, I just came back from working out. So backwards, because I'm like, now I'm about to eat this heavy meal, which is my first heavy meal, 1 out of 2 for the month. And I just worked out, but it's all good because I can work out. I got stuff in the house to work it off with, even if I just jog in place or whatever the case may be. You know how that go. And I was like, well, I could still do an intro, but I'm like, no, because when I came back from working out, I got in the shower, I wrapped this hair up, put on my bonnet, and once that bonnet go on, it's a wrap. So, no intro for the first time, but it is definitely all good. There's still plenty more videos that will be coming y'all's way for my subscribers. Anyways, I'm about to let this butter melt. We're going to start the next process of the video, so stay tuned. For this part of the video, I am going to do a speed up. So I'll see you at the end. Okay, so I just wanted to throw out there really quick that there is different ways that I do my cheese sauce for my macaroni and cheese. If I was doing this in the oven, there would be a few extra steps that I would definitely have taken. But since I'm doing it this way, it's going to be so simple. I did just do, when I just added the flour and the butter, I should have added either more butter or less flour, but it's all good because, you know, me, I always make it work, and I did. The flour has completely dissolved because you don't want that flour taste in your cheese sauce at all. You want that to be completely dissolved. As you can see, that's completely dissolved. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Okay, so boom, I know you see it, period. Bomb. Okay, the same for the lactose, period. But it's very good. Okay, so one thing I will say, okay, I did add a little bit more salt, and I added a little bit more cheese. But another thing that I meant to mention a little earlier is that when I do put my, when I normally like do the oven bake way, after, you know, after doing all this and then put it in the oven, whatever, I do normally do 3 different cheeses. As you saw, I only did one type of cheese, which is straight sharp. But that's okay. You know, like I said, when I do this on the stove, I always do it very simple. So anyways, just want to show that is done, and we about to end this video, honey, so stay tuned. All right, so this completes my Sunday dinner. Crockpot ribs, fried cabbage, and some homemade stovetop macaroni. As always, thank you for listening. Until next time, peace, light, and love.